G'day everyone. Today in this short video, I'm going to answer a question that we get asked all the time. That question is, since you guys began your overland journey 4 years ago, is there any gear or equipment that you've got rid of or you regretted taking with you? Now, I think that's a really good question and a very relevant one. I figured the easiest and most simple way to answer this question is to go back to the beginning and list each item that we began this journey with that we no longer carry with us. So before I get into this video, I do want to mention that we consider ourselves to be minimalists. Everything that we own in the entire world, we carry with us in our Land Rover and four-wheel camper. On an overland journey such as ours, whether it be by bicycle, motorbike, van, 4x4 or expedition truck, weight is always a consideration. We are firm believers in not carrying unnecessary items. In fact, every 6 months or so, we'll do a huge clear out. We'll remove any items from our inventory that we have not used or we're not using enough to warrant carrying them with us anymore. All right, item number 1, a Dutch oven, a poikie, a camp oven. We carried this poikie with us at the very beginning of our journey across France, Spain, and Morocco. These cast iron pots are bloody heavy and big. Although we had a really good couple of feeds using this Dutch oven, we quickly realized that we weren't going to use it enough to warrant carrying it with us full time. The Dutch oven, or the poikie, was officially the first item to go. Bikes. We carried 2 bikes with us up until our accident in Portugal. We had the idea originally that we would use the bicycles to explore cities whilst we left the rig at a campsite outside the city. We are not city people. One day exploring a major city or town is plenty enough for us. Secondly, we love walking, and we've always felt that we'll see and experience a whole lot more in a city or town on foot rather than on a bicycle. Thirdly, if we do feel the need to go in and explore a city, our rig is the perfect size that parking in a city centre has never been a problem. The decision was made to gift these 2 bicycles to a really nice truck driver who helped us get Grizzly back on bear after the accident in Portugal. This was just before Christmas, and this bloke was so happy and told us he was going to give the bicycles to his 2 sons for Christmas. Seeing the smile on this bloke's face was a great feeling. From that day on, we never hesitated to give away items to people that would get more use out of them than us. We started this journey with 2 large foldable camping chairs and a very large table. These items took up loads of space, and again, we were not using them enough to warrant carrying them. We eventually swapped these out for smaller, lighter, and more compact Helinox chairs and a small table. Our Easy Stove. The Easy Stove is a great, efficient piece of kit that we did use quite a few times. We gave this away eventually only because we wanted to cook on the coals, braai style, rather than an open flame like the Easy Stove. Our Dometic alcohol burner. Now, this alcohol burner was a gift from our mates at Eurocamper down in Seville in Spain. A very nice piece of equipment, but we were having issues finding the required burning alcohol from country to country. We made a gift of this alcohol stove to a fellow overlander and recently new Defender owner in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. Passing on items to others that will appreciate and use this equipment more than you is a form of recycling. It's also a very nice thing to do. Our rock climbing portaledge. Like I have spoken about in a previous video, our original plan was to travel from Europe to North America. There we would have used the portaledge, climbing in places such as Yosemite National Park. Obviously that didn't happen, and although we used the portaledge in Turkey on one epic adventure, we finally decided it had to go. Some Japanese climbers offered to buy the portaledge from us earlier this year, and so we parted with it. Our hot water unit. In all our years of overlanding, we've never felt the need for an inbuilt hot water unit. Removing and getting rid of our hot water unit was an easy decision to make, and one we will never regret. It was big, heavy, and we never used it. Cold showers are a great way to wake up in the morning, and not to mention extremely good for you. We are now completely used to having cold showers, even in the middle of winter.
So Steph's just said that she thinks it's maybe the coldest shower she's had so far.
We are absolutely certain that we will never miss not having a hot water unit. If we do need a little bit of hot water for the dishes, then we'll just boil it on the induction cooker or in the jet boil. Our Propex propane furnace. We've mentioned many times and even made a video, we now run a diesel heating system. That meant the Propex propane furnace was no longer required. It went at the same time as the hot water unit earlier this year. We gifted the hot water unit and the Propex furnace to a Kiwi bloke in Huckabah who was converting a bus into a food truck. He was extremely grateful to receive these items and we were very happy to give them to him. The propane burner or propane stove. This was removed in our recent renovation and final move away from propane gas permanently. This was replaced with an electric induction cooktop. We are extremely happy with this new IH system and we'll go into that in a separate video. The move away from propane gas completely meant we also no longer required a large propane gas bottle. More storage space created with its removal. During our preparations to ship to Australia earlier this year, we had to ship the vehicle empty. This led to some major sorting of gear. In Hokkaido, we made a gift of excess rock climbing equipment to some local rock climbers. This included our large rock climbing crash pad that we'd only used a couple of times since the beginning of this journey. Spare parts. Since the beginning of this trip, we have massively reduced the amount of spare parts that we carry. I will say that I truly believe that most overlanders, including ourselves, are guilty of carrying an excessive amount of spare parts. Murphy's Law says that the one thing that breaks will be the part that you're not carrying anyway. These days, international courier services are extremely efficient and deliver to just about anywhere on the planet. Relax and enjoy being stuck somewhere while you wait for parts to arrive. Tools. We started this trip with 2 large tool bags. I've more than halved that amount of gear since then. I'll make a separate video at some stage on what tools we carry. Using the right tool for the job is okay when you've got a full workshop for storage. On the road, sometimes you have to get creative. You'd be very surprised at what you can accomplish with a hammer, a shifter, and a pair of multi-grips. We used to carry a very large green bucket for showers and doing the laundry by hand. We've since swapped out this large green bucket for a smaller collapsible bucket. This new bucket fits nicely in the new storage space that we acquired after removing the gas bottle. There's probably countless other smaller items that I'm forgetting about that we have passed on over the years. Steffi has massively reduced the amount of kitchen utensils and kitchenware that we carry over the course of this journey. Clothing has been prioritized and everything serves a purpose or multiple purposes. For example, shoes. I used to have one pair of hiking boots and another pair of trail running shoes. I now have a pair of trail running shoes that double as hiking shoes. This is something I highly recommend and should be done often. Do not accumulate unnecessary items. Living a minimalistic lifestyle is a great feeling. I truly believe it even gives a sense of freedom of a sort. I'll leave it there for today. Please do leave a comment with your own personal experiences. How have you prioritized what you really need and what you don't need on a long-term journey? We would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so very much for watching the video. Do us a really big favor and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Cheers and see you next time.